我们正经作威的，
longing to understand the scriptures,
非常渴望的去明白圣经，
desperate to put what they say into practice.
非常渴望的把这些经文应用在我们的生活当中。
And why?
为什么呢？
Because as followers of Jesus, we want to grow and mature in our spiritual life.
因为当我们跟从耶稣的时候，我们非常渴望的有成长或者很成熟。
Billy Graham once said, if a person gets his attitude towards money straight, it will help straighten out almost every other area of his life.
葛培理曾经说过，当我们在金钱方面的态度被修正的时候，我们基本上其他生活上的任何方面都会被修正。
We worship a generous God, and discipleship is all about reflecting his character.
我们在这里敬拜的是一个非常慷慨的神，我们也非常希望把他的特征反映出来。
So we learn to give sacrificially, cheerfully, and generously.
所以我们在这里学习到，我们有只有自我牺牲的给予，还有非常喜乐的给予和慷慨的奉献。
To put it another way, a sermon series on giving does not start with what God says about our pocketbook.
再换一句话说，就是说我们这里的正道不是说从神要我们把每一笔账记下来是要给多少，从这里我们不是要说这个，
Or how much to give.
或者要给多少，
Or even our lifestyle choices.
或者是我们生活中的一个选择方式。
It starts with the character of God.
我们从神的特征开始，
What is God like?
神是怎样的呢？
Grace is going to read for us from Deuteronomy 26, verses 1 through 11.
我在这里将会读到申命记26章1到11节。你进去得了耶和华你神所赐你为业之地居住，就要从耶和华你神赐你的地上，将所收的各种出熟的土产取些来，盛在筐子里，往耶和华你神所拣选要立为他名的居所去。见当时做祭司的对他说：我今日向耶和华你神明认我已来到耶和华向我们列祖起誓应许赐给我们的地。祭司就从你手里取过筐子来，放在耶和华你神的坛前。你要在耶和华你神面前说：我主原是一个将亡的亚兰人，下到埃及寄居，他人口稀少，在那里却成了又大又强、人数很多的国民。埃及人恶待我们，苦害我们，将苦工加在我们身上。于是我们哀求耶和华我们列祖的神。耶和华听见我们的声音，看见我们所受的困苦、劳碌、欺压，他就用大能的手和伸出来的臂膀，并大可为的事与神迹奇事领我们出了埃及，将我们领进这地方，把这牛奶与蜜之地赐给我们。耶和华，现在我把你所赐给我地上出熟的土产奉了来，随后你要把筐子放在耶和华你神面前，向耶和华你的神下拜。你和利未人并在你们中间寄居的，要因耶和华你神所赐你和你家的一切福分欢乐。
Let's give some background.
让我们这里看一些历史背景。
Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt.
摩西把以色列人带出埃及，
They passed through the Red Sea.
他们穿过红海。
And Moses was to lead them into the land the Lord promised them.
摩西也要把以色列人带入应许之地。
But the Israelites didn't believe God.
但以色列人不相信神，
So they wandered in the wilderness for 40 years.
所以他们在旷野中游荡了40年。
And at the end of that period, they arrived at the eastern bank of the Jordan River,
在最后，他们来到约旦河的东岸，
about to enter the promised land.
即将进入应许之地。
But before they cross the Jordan River, Moses delivers a long sermon.
在跨过约旦河之前，摩西给他们一个非常长的讲道。
This sermon is the book of Deuteronomy.
这个讲道就是申命记。
Moses tells the Israelites to put God first,
摩西要以色列人把神放在首位，
to live for him and to embrace his grace and love.
是为他而活，去拥抱他的恩典和爱。
He tells the Israelites that their relationship with God is like the exchange of vows between a husband and a wife at a wedding.
他告诉以色列人说，他们的关系与神的关系是应该像一对新婚夫妇在他们婚礼上所做的盟约，
but much deeper.
但是更加深入。
Their relationship is a covenant, a serious commitment between God and his people to loyalty and love.
他们的关系是一个非常严肃的盟约，是他们与神一个忠诚和爱的盟约。
This commitment involves two things primarily.
这个盟约有两个很主要的方面。
First, the Israelites must stand out from the nations around them.
首先，以色列人要从他们所周围的人分别出来。
They are told not to bow to the gods of the peoples around them.
他们不可以敬拜他们其他人的神。
Remember the first of the 10 commandments, you shall have no other gods before me.
记得十诫当中的第一条吗？除了我以外，你不可有别的神。
And that's in Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 7.
它是申命记5章7节里面。
And second, the Israelites must never forget what the Lord has done.
第二，就是以色列人不可以忘记神所为他们所做的一切的事情。
Deuteronomy 8, verses 10 to 11 says this, when you have eaten and are satisfied, praise the Lord your God for the good land he has given you. Be careful that you do not forget the Lord your God, failing to observe his commands, his laws, and his decrees that I am giving you this day.
申命记中8章10到11节这样说道：你吃得饱足，就要称颂耶和华你的神，因他将那美地赐给你了。你要谨慎，免得忘记耶和华你的神，不守他的诫命、典章、律例，就是我今日所吩咐你的。
In other words, Deuteronomy is about living before a generous, gracious God.
另一句话就是说，申命记是关于教导人民关于怎样在这个富有恩典慷慨的神的面前怎样生活。
The God who's given everything to us, the God to whom we owe everything.
神把所有东西都给我们，我们所有的好处都是从他而来。
So notice how Deuteronomy 26 begins.
让我们这里看申命记26章是怎样开始的。
Moses tells the Israelites that once they've settled in the promised land, the first thing they must do is honor God.
摩西告诉以色列人说，当他们进入应许之地，第一件事就是要荣耀神。
Deuteronomy 26 verse 2 says, take some of the first fruits of all that you produce from the soil of the land that the Lord your God is giving you and put them in a basket.
第2节他这样说道，就要从耶和华你神赐你的地上，将所收的各种出熟的土产取些来盛在筐子里。
Now remember, up to now, the Israelites have been shepherds, moving from one place to another.
请不要忘记，以色列人是一个游牧民族，他们从一个地方游到另一个地方。
And now they have become farmers.
但是他们现在要成为农夫。
They've moved from a nomadic lifestyle to an agricultural one.
他们从一个游牧的生活方式换成一个农业。
Their whole way of living has changed.
他们的生活方式改变了。
Can you imagine how the first Israelites felt at that first harvest?
所以你可以想象，当以色列人有第一次丰收的时候，他们的情景是怎样。
When we arrived in Canada, the temptation was to be cautious.
当我们首次来到加拿大的时候，我们要非常的小心。
We didn't know the culture. We didn't know how things were done.
我们不知道这里的文化，我们不知道事情是怎样做成的。
Ignorance made us hesitant.
无知让我们犹豫不前。
We were learning what it meant to be Canadian.
我们学习要怎样成为加拿大人。
The Israelites are learning what it means to be farmers.
所以以色列人在这里要学习怎样成为农夫。
So don't you think it would have been easier and safer to wait until that first harvest is in to get a sense of how much the crop would yield?
所以你们在这里不觉得，当他们把所有的收成都收割了的时候，当他们知道到底有多少收成的时候，这样会比较容易或者安全些。
And then they could give out of the surplus.
然后他们可以把多余的出来，奉献出来。
But Moses tells the Israelites that caution and hesitancy are not to symbolize their new life.
但是摩西在这里告诉以色列人说，犹豫和小心都不是他们新生命的特征。
The first thing they must do is not hoard the first crop.
但是第一件事他们要做的就是不是收藏他们所收割的。
Not wait until the crop is in, but give the first fruits, a portion of the first yield to God.
不是要等到他们收割所有的庄稼，而是把出熟的土产献给神。
Do we see what this means?
我们看到这里是什么意思吗？
They risk their prosperity and income by first giving to God.
他们承担他们这个风险，就是他们的收入和他们的财富，把首先出产的给神。
Deuteronomy 26 verse 10 says they must take the first fruits and place them before God.
申命记26章10节说到，他们要把出熟的土产放到神的面前。
So why can the Israelites take this risk and put God first?
为什么以色列人可以承担这个风险，而把神放在首位呢？
Answering that question helps us understand what it means to be a generous giver.
去回答这个问题，可以帮助我们怎样去理解，怎样才是一个慷慨的付出者。
Did you notice that 6 times in these 11 verses we're told that God is the one who gave the land to the Israelites?
我们有没有留意到，在这11节经文当中，神6次提到，神是首先这个地是神应许给以色列人的。
Deuteronomy 26 verse 1 says, "When you have entered the land that the Lord your God is giving you."
26章1节说到，你进去得了耶和华你神所赐你为业之地居住。
Deuteronomy 26 verse 2 says, "Take some of the first fruits of all that you produce from the soil of the land that the Lord your God is giving you."
第2节说到，就要从耶和华你神赐你的地上，将所收的各种出熟的土产取些来盛在筐子里。
Deuteronomy 26 verse 3 says, "I declare today to the Lord your God that I have come to the land that the Lord swore our forefathers to give us."
第3节说到，见当时做祭司的对他说，我今日向耶和华你神明认我已来到耶和华向我们列祖起誓应许赐给我们的地。
Deuteronomy 26 verse 9 says, "He brought us to this place and gave us this land."
第9节说到，将我们领进这地方，把这流奶与蜜之地赐给我们。
Deuteronomy 26 verse 10 says, "And now I bring the first fruits of the soil that you, O Lord, have given me."
第10节说到，现在我把你所赐给我地上出熟的土产奉了来。
And Deuteronomy 26 verse 11 says, "You shall rejoice in all the good things the Lord your God has given to you and your household."
第11节说到，要因耶和华你神所赐你和你家的一切福分欢乐。
God's generosity always comes first.
神的慷慨总是首先来到。
The Israelites give because God first gave to them.
以色列人给予是因为神先给了他们。
They give because they have experienced grace.
他们给予是因为他们经历了神的恩典。
As followers of Jesus, we know even more than the ancient Israelites how great is this generosity.
作为一个耶稣的跟随者，我们更加比古代以色列人明白神是多么的慷慨。
Somebody who comes to ESL recently asked me if I could explain how Jesus' death on the cross could pay the price for sin.
最近有一个 ESL 的学生来问我，向他解释耶稣死在十字架上是如何为我们的罪付出代价。
Now, I live for questions like that.
我非常喜欢这种问题，
So I explained that we're all sinners separated from God.
所以我跟他解释说，我们全部人都是罪人，我们与神隔绝。
I explained that we can't do anything to remove that separation.
而且我跟他解释说，我们做任何事情都不可以把这个隔绝除掉。
I explained that the only way the separation can be removed is if God does something.
我跟他解释说，只有神做出一些事情，才能把这个隔绝除掉。
I explained that God did something. He sent Jesus.
但是神做了这件事情，他派耶稣来。
I explained that Jesus is God come to us.
我跟他解释说，耶稣就是神，他自己来到我们中间。
I explained that Jesus is fully human, but without sin.
耶稣是一个人，但是他完全没有罪。
The person was still listening.
那个人还在听。
I explained that only Jesus can represent us and take our place on the cross.
我跟他解释说，只有耶稣可以在十字架上代表我们。
I explained that this is how Jesus' death on the cross can pay the price for our sin.
我解释说，这就是耶稣怎样在十字架上被钉死，然后为我们的罪付出代价。
And then I added that this is amazing grace.
然后我最后说，这是一个奇异的恩典。
This is the gift of God, and this gift changes our lives.
这是一个神的礼物，而这个礼物改变了我们的生命。
It's John 3, verse 16.
约翰福音3章16节。
For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
神爱世人，将他的独生子赐给我们，所以我们不至于灭亡，反得永生。
And as I said this to this particular person at ESL, and as I say it now, I am in awe of the God who would show me such grace.
我告诉这个ESL 的学生说，我在这里再一次说，我为神的恩典非常的震撼。
I have been run down by grace.
我被恩典击倒，
I've been swept up by grace.
我被恩典
I've
洁
been,
净，
I've been overwhelmed by grace.
我被恩典淹没。
And here's grace. This is who God is.
这就是我们的神。
How can I not want to give to God when he's been this generous to me?
我们可以怎么样可以不付出呢？我们有这样一位慷慨大方的神。
It is said that there are 3 types of giver: the flint, the sponge, and the honeycomb.
有3种付出的人，就是打火石、海绵和蜂巢。
To get anything out of a flint, you must hammer it, and then you only get chips and sparks.
所以从打火石里面，你要得到一点东西，你就要捶它，而且你只能得到一些碎片和一点点火光。
To get water out of a sponge, you must squeeze it, and the more pressure you use, the more you will get.
如果从海绵里你想要得到一些水，你就要挤它，你挤得越大力，你就得到越多的东西。
But neither of these is how we want to be as givers or as a church speaking about giving.
但是这2样都不是我们在教会中我们鼓励大家这样做的。
We don't beat people into giving,
我们不把人打出钱来，
and we don't squeeze them when they do give.
我们也不把他们挤出钱来。
These are not biblical examples of giving.
这不是在圣经里所想要的。
So what is?
所以什么是圣经里想要的呢？
It's the 3rd type of giver, the honeycomb.
那就是第3种蜂巢。
The honeycomb just overflows with sweetness.
蜂巢里面满溢着蜂蜜，
That's the kind of giving the Bible encourages.
这就是圣经里所鼓励我们要做的。
Notice what Paul says in 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 8. as he's talking about giving.
保罗在哥林多后书9章8节这样说道。
He says this, "And God is able to make all grace abound to you, so that in all things, at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work."
哥林多后书9章8节这样说道：神能将各样的恩惠多多的加给你们，使你们凡事常常充足，能多行各样善事。
It starts as we remember just how generous the Lord is that he gave his son for us.
让我们在这里纪念神是多么的慷慨大方，他把他的神给了我们。
Charles Swindoll, the American preacher, tells a story of an American soldier on his way back to his barracks in London shortly after World War II.
Charles Swindoll 告诉我们，曾经说过这样的一个故事，就是在2次大战之后，有一个美国士兵，在他回去在伦敦的营地的路上。
As he turned a corner in his Jeep, he sees a small boy with his nose pressed to the window of a pastry shop.
当他开吉普车在一个转弯的路口，他看见一个小男孩把他的脸紧紧地贴在一个糕点铺的橱窗上面。
Inside, the cook is kneading dough for a fresh batch of donuts.
里面那个厨师正在揉面团，正在做一批新鲜出炉的甜圈饼。
The hungry boy just stares, watching every move.
那个饥饿的小男孩默默地盯着那个厨师的每一个举动。
The soldier stops his jeep, gets out, and walks over to the boy.
那个士兵停下车来，走向那个男孩。
Through the steamed-up window, he could see the mouth-watering donuts as they were pulled from the oven.
从那个布满雾气的那个橱窗里，他还可以看见厨师把那些垂涎欲滴的甜圈饼从炉子里面拿出来。
The boy is salivating and then groaning as he watches the cook place each donut onto the glass counter carefully.
那个小男孩在拼命地吞口水，当他看到厨师把那些甜圈饼小心地放在玻璃架上的时候，
The soldier's heart goes out to the orphan.
那个士兵他的心去到那个小男孩的身上。
Son, he says, would you like some of these?
他说：“儿子，你想要一些这些吗？”
The boy is startled.
小男孩结舌说
Oh, yeah, I would.：“
对，我很想要。”
So the American soldier steps inside and buys a dozen donuts.
所以那个美国士兵他走进店里，买了一沓的那个甜圈饼。
He puts them in a bag and walks back to the boy.
他把它放在袋子里，然后走回小男孩身边。
He smiles, holds out the bag, and says simply, "Here you are."
他微笑着说，拿着那个袋子递给男孩，只是很简单的说一声：“拿这个给你。”
And as he turned to walk away, he feels a tug on his coat.
然后他转身离开，他的喉咙有个哽咽。
He looks back.
他往回看，
And here's the boy ask very quietly, "Mister, are you God?"
然后他听见小男孩安静地说：“先生，你是神吗？”
And then Chuck Swindoll says, "We are never more like God than when we give."
然后斯宾德在这里说到，在任何一个时候，没有比在我们给予的时候更像神。
God is generous.
神是慷慨大方的，
It's amazing
它
grace.
是一个奇异的恩典。
When we give, it's only because He first has given to us.
当我们给予的时候，只是因为他先给了我们。
We become generous because He is generous.
我们成为慷慨，是因为他先对我们慷慨。
Now, isn't that worth a life worth living?
现在我们的生活是不是很有意义呢？
Isn't that a life worth living?
生活是不是非常具有意义呢？
Amen?
阿们。
Amen.